I am joined right now by Talia or Talia, depending on who's saying hello to you. Hello.
Depending where you are in the world.
Well, it does. You see, if you're further south, it's that Talia. It's the
It's
bath and
Talia.
the bath and the grass and the grass. And
Yeah.
do you know what? It's fine. I get called all sorts. So, yeah, that's fine. Now, we're here to talk about a couple of things which are particularly of interest to me. One of which is you've got a new song out today, which is very exciting. I've had a listen. It's on the radio, ready to go. And the other thing is why you've written this song, which I want to come back to. So before we come back to why you've decided to write a song like this, just give us a little bit for people who don't know you. What is it you do?
Well, I'm a musician. I'm a singer-songwriter. I sing online and I just live in the world of music, really.
Okay, and I've got a few notes here. So X Factor, was that the beginning of a journey, or was that more of a culmination for you when you got to X Factor?
X Factor was a one-off, last-minute decision that I done a video audition and they called me in. And I never thought that they would ever. So I just took it by chance. And I had no idea I would get as far as I did. But I did, yeah. It was exciting.
I can bet it was. So X Factor, you got through to the finals. How do you find something like that? Because most people, they'll watch that, they'll see it from the TV or on the phone. What was it like as an experience for you getting up into X Factor and doing what you do?
It's completely different to what you see. You see probably 5 minutes of filming, but it's weeks and weeks and days. And, we're up at 7, we're in bed at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's a lot behind the scenes. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of production. It's a lot of panto. Yeah, it really opened my eyes to a lot of things.
So a lot of hard work, but I'm guessing also possibly a bit of fun as well.
Oh, I loved it. I was very lucky. I had such a good experience on there, and they really liked me. And I think just being that little bit older, I knew I took it for what it was, and I had a great time. Yeah.
This is the thing about experiences, though. We can either go in and like we're terrified and shaking. I've interviewed folk who I can see are shaking on the other side, and it's like it's fine. I'm just a normal person, but it's not necessarily that easy. But you can go in scared, or you can just make the most of it and think, "Hey, I'm here. Let's give it a go and let's enjoy it."
I had a great time, but the further I went on, the more scared I got. I mean, by the time I was at judges' houses, I I was a wreck. The further you go on, the more you want it. So yeah, it got hard. It definitely got harder, and it wasn't because I was surrounded by famous people or anything. It's just because I wanted it so bad.
Which is, I mean, nerves are good. Nerves help us to perform to a degree, and eventually the nerves can sort of tip us over the edge of, okay, I'm ready for this. And wow, did I get here?
Yeah. Yeah, it was all over before it began. It was a very head spin moment. I realized that I was in the eye of the storm and I couldn't see. And when you look back, you think, oh, why did I say that? Why did I sing that? Why did I wear that? And you're being completely led the whole time without realizing. So when you step away from that, you realize, well, I wish I had enjoyed it a lot more and appreciated it, but also I wish I had have made a few decisions on my own.
Hindsight, it's wonderfully useless.
Isn't it?
Not just me then.
No, completely useless. And you'll never get the chance to do it again. Well, I won't anyway, and I don't think they're going to bring it back, but I should have done a few things. Yeah, definitely.
Making the most of the situation. It's easy in hindsight. It's great to say, oh, I could have done this and I could have done that, but you've done that. Obviously, you didn't just think, oh, I'll have a go at singing. Oh, that'll work. There's obviously a journey that got you to the point of thinking, I think I've actually got a good enough voice for this. What was your story to getting to the point of thinking, I'm going to submit a video?
Well, it was actually becoming a new mum that made me submit a video. I think I just felt really trapped by being a parent, and it was all new and it was my first child, and I was pretty much single-handedly doing it on my own, and I felt I lost myself a little bit. And it's not like I could just go out and tour or go to the local karaoke or anything. And then so when it came in front of me online, I thought, oh, I'm going to go for that just because it was something to do, and it would have been a great day for me and a good experience. But actually, pre-baby, I was already touring and I was already dominating Camden. I was selling out shows and I had a really good little rock and roll band. So I was already in the music world, making music. I already had an album. I brought my first album out in 2012 and it done really well, underground. So, yeah, I guess I just wanted to find myself again.
It is easy. I mean, I've got 3 kids, and when you have your first child, your will changes, doesn't it? There's no way you can be prepared. I know you can read a book and you can go to a class, but you know what? When you have your first child, it's not like anybody said. It's better and it's worse all at once. And losing yourself is so easy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, fair play to you that you try to think, I want to find myself again.
Yeah. Yeah, I always had a plan. Having a baby never derailed me from that plan, but I think I got a little bit impatient, I'd say, because I had visions of, oh, I'll go on tour and I'll bring the baby with me. It'll be fine. Like that was where I was going in my head. Nothing was stopping me from doing music.
We have those plans, don't we? I always have this thing. I'll help God out. I've got a plan. Maybe he'll like my plan better one day because mine's a bit quicker to get to where I want to get to, which it sounds like that's part of what you've been through.
Yeah, I had to learn a lot and it was really painful. But I'm glad I learned what I learned along the way because I wouldn't know what I know now.
So let's just get this in order for people. So 2017, you've got the X Factor, you got through to the finals. 2023, your life changed in a very different direction for a very different reason. I want to read this out because I love this little quote that we got through. God came into my life when I needed him the most. I was so lost and broken. The sign he gave me was unmistakable, and I knew he was real. It was right to dedicate this song to Christ and praise his name at Christmas. So what on earth happened in 2023 that led you to say that?
Well, I was not in a good place. I was having a lot of anxiety and I was really struggling with my mental health. I was struggling to leave the house and just function as a normal human being. And I was searching for something at the time, and it kept leading me back to church, kept leading me back to Christianity. But one evening I really had an unmistakable sign from God in the shape of a rainbow. And it was a rainbow that I asked for, that appeared when I asked for it to appear, with the assumption that if that rainbow appears, then I know you're real. And it wasn't actually a rainbow I was asking for. It was just something. And it was a day like this. And basically today is all grey. I don't know what it's like where you are.
Yep.
It was Christmas, it was winter, clouds, darkness. And honestly, when I tell you, people don't believe me, the clouds completely parted. And in them clouds was a rainbow, and it was just so beautiful. But I had events leading up to that. So I kept asking, well, if it's you, then do this. If you're real, do this. And he did. And the sun shone, and I had little subliminal messages. But when I said, do you know what? It's not enough. I need to see you now. I need to know. And I promise you, if you show me now, I will dedicate my whole life to you. And he did. He parted the clouds. There was a huge rainbow in the middle of December. It was December the 31st. And everything around this rainbow was grey. So I turned around to pick my phone up because I could not believe it. I turned around to pick my phone up to take a picture. And by the time I turned back, it had gone. But I have the picture of the part in the clouds where the rainbow showed. That was still there. And I just knew, spiritually I knew, I didn't need any more signs. And everything that had led up to me asking that question made sense to me. So it was just unmistakable. It was incredible. While the rainbow was there, my whole room lit up. It was just the most beautiful feeling. And it's one of them ones where when you know, you know, you know?
I had not as a rainbow. I remember being in Scotland, a place called Dunnet Head, which is right at the top of England, Scotland, right out into the sea. And I was stood there, and it was just gusty and blowy, and it's really high on the edge of the sea, and you're just being buffeted from side. And I was in a really miserable place, and I said, God, if you're real, silence the wind. And this like buffeting stopped, and it blew in one way, and then it blew in another, and then another, and then it went back to normal. And I just thought, That's not something I'm ever going to explain
No.
away. It's unmistakable, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's life changing because it reminds you that whatever our life is going through, there's someone bigger.
And he'll talk to you how you need to hear it. So maybe the wind thing wouldn't have worked for me, but the rainbow
Exactly.
would have, and vice versa. So he knows when to come to you and he knows when you're ready for it. And he's probably done it a few times and I've just, but I needed it then. And I've never looked back. It's been incredible.
So that obviously is going to change the trajectory of your life. That's not something, as you said, you can't say, oh, well, never mind. Hey, that was pretty, on we go. That's going to change everything. So you're, I guess, in the music mode, music world, and all of a sudden you want to change for that. So it makes sense to me that you're thinking, well, how does music, which is a big part of who you are, how do I get that and then connect that to the faith element of me? Where was faith for you growing up as a child? Was that part of your life or not?
No, yeah, I was a cradle Catholic and I went to Catholic school and I went to Catholic infant school. My family are Italian. We're Roman Catholic, and I went to church every week. It was a very strong faith, but almost conditioned faith. It's what we did as kids because you get your baptism and you get your Holy Communion, and it was I just fell into it. It was more robotic and mechanical, and I didn't really understand what this way of life was until I veered away, learned everything else, and then came back to it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's why they get kids to do this and da, 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 da.
And now we've talked about some of your faith journey. We've talked about X Factor. We've talked about the rainbow in the sky, how that was such a monumental, literally, moment for you. I want to come to the song really soon because we're going to be playing that today, first time on our station. But what does faith mean to you today? Because you were talking about how you went to church. It was kind of, you went there and you did this and it wasn't really a personal thing. It's kind of what you did. But now I would assume it's not what you do, it's who you are. So how would you sort of describe your faith today?
My faith today is really strong. I feel God with me every single day. I walk with Jesus and he is a part of every decision I make. And we do wrestle like Jacob. We wrestle a lot. But ultimately, my faith is stronger than ever. It's, I spent many years questioning it, but now I'm not questioning it. Now my issue is trying to be the best version of myself, according to the Bible and the scriptures and how he wants us to be. I really try to live by the Beatitudes. It's not easy. I'm a flawed human, but it's a life, a life, I don't want to say journey because it feels corny, but it's a part of me. It's who I am. It's my whole life feels a bit like a pilgrimage, and I'm working each day to become a version of myself where when I go through the gates of heaven, I know that I've made it, and it wasn't easy, but I got there in the end. And I guess my whole life in a short form answer to that question is, what does faith mean to me? It's rectifying, putting right sins I may have committed, and what would I call it? It's just like the warm up stage.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, trying to get into, this is like boot camp. Life is boot camp. And then heaven is obviously like when you've made it.
Yeah, but you see, I think journey is the right word. I don't think it's cliche. I don't think it's corny. I think life is a journey, and we go off on one place, and then things happen that sometimes force us to go off on a tangent or give us an opportunity to choose a different tangent. But life is what you make of it in so many ways, and that's what you're trying to do.
And sometimes I do end up on these little side quests, and I do get, taken aside. But I've always learned a lesson from everything, good or bad, that I've done. Even if I've done something that's not particularly good, I've come away a lot more knowledgeable. And
which is good.
And the foundation of that is my faith. Does what I just do align with my faith? And if the answer's no, then I've learned something. And I've learned why it isn't,
Every day is a school day. I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, it really is. I learned a lot today.
Well, yeah. Yes, we all do. Let's come to the song then, because I got to have a listen earlier.
Oh, you did?
I did. The lovely people at Cova sent me a copy so I could have a listen.
Oh,
And I've really
nice.
enjoyed it because it's just in a great way. It's not the same as everything else. And I like that. I like that. I'm thinking, what category could we stick it on the station? I don't know. I like that because I like stuff that sticks out.
Yeah, but I must ask you, did you listen to the 6 minute version or the 320?
No, the long version, because I like stuff in full.
Oh, okay. So you'll probably notice that it has the same arrangement as Bohemian Rhapsody almost. It starts
It's very
slow.
Queen-like.
It's very Queen, isn't it? And I love that. I love that that it has that recognizable guitar in it, and instantly you know what you're going to get from this record.
Yeah, no, I don't. Oh, okay, we get some radio edit stuff, and that's fine. It's the short form. I like the full version. It's like the editor's cut. I think it's the better version of what you can have, and I like that. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to playing it for folk in a little moment. But where did this song come from? Because you're talking about faith, 2023. That's obviously COVID has got to be a part of that journey, I would imagine. But you've written this song. Why did you want to not just write the song, but why did you want to finish this song as it is?
Well, if you listen to the lyrics, it does talk about, in the moment, in the silence, I hear you calling. And that's like when the hustle and bustle stop, when the world stops spinning, when you are in that tornado of a chaotic moment, when you have silence and clarity. I believe it's those moments where you can really hear what God's trying to say to you. And in 2023, when I was at my lowest and at that turning point in my life, and I actually thought that it was the worst moment because it was so chaotic, it was so depressing and sad, that actually in a weird way it was the most clarifying, because that's when I really, really heard God's word. So with that said, I started to write the journey of that moment where he came to me, the moment where suddenly the wind stopped blowing and I could see clarity. And then I end with, you know what? I'm just going to praise your name. What will be, what will be, what comes. It's not going to be, oh, I'm saved and my life is great now. And, I never have any problems anymore because I'm Christian now. It's not at all. Like, there is no kumbaya around the campfire. Being a Christian actually is one of the hardest things, especially in this day and age.
Yep.
But if you keep your eyes on him and just praise, everything will flow. And sometimes that's all you need to do. When people say just breathe, when you're having a chaotic moment, just breathe. For me, it's just praise. And when you do, you almost re-anchor yourself, and bring it back to Jesus, bring it back to your faith, especially at Christmas.
Oh, well, hey, Christmas. I love Christmas. I used to work in churches with children, and Christmas, there's one or two ways. You either think, oh, well, it's a bit, commercialized, and well, yeah, probably. And maybe Jesus wasn't born on the 25th of December. Well, maybe not. But you know what? Christmas is a great time when people have this desire for something to connect with. And they might only come to church once every year for that, whatever it is, that Chris Dingle service, which is one of the things I've done. But it's something people can recognize. It's an anchor in their lives, and they might only come back once a year. But having that is so powerful.
Yeah, and it's about really remembering, when it comes to Christmas, everyone's, what are you doing? What are you buying? What do you want? Where are you having dinner? It's all like that. And for so long, I wanted to go to midnight mass, and I think it's the most beautiful thing. And terrible me, this is going to be the first year that I'm going to really try to do it. Actually, I have done it once before, but if you can go to midnight mass, it's very quiet, it's very nice. Sometimes it's quite candlelit and it's beautiful. And my song starts like that. So although, Jesus, was he born in December? No, but it doesn't really matter when. It's about celebrating the birth, not when it was.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the beginning of my track, the first opening verse, it's that quiet, it's that moment, it's that like midnight mass, real, okay, let's breathe. This is what we're really dealing with here. This is what we're really talking about. And I think that's lovely. And I want people to remember that about Christmas, not about Santa. Because we say, well, he wasn't even born in December. Yeah, well, do you know what else didn't happen? Santa Claus climbing down the chimney. But you're very quick to celebrate that whenever you can, which is okay. Actually, me and my boyfriend went to Amsterdam this year and we learnt a lot about St. Nick, the real St. Nick, which was great. Yeah. And it's about, and it's exactly that. It's remembering who is St. Nick, you know, Jesus being born. Why was he born? What was the message? What was the prophecy? And trying to incorporate that in a song is really difficult. But I think I've kind of simplified it and managed it.
I really enjoyed it. 2 reasons. One, there's a story in the lyrics. You're actually starting somewhere and you're going somewhere. Which I like, because a lot of songs don't necessarily do that. It's going to be sometimes more about the music, and the music matters. We're a music heavy station. Music is important. But I also think where it gets really special is when you've got good music plus good lyrics. If you can join those together somehow, that's when the magic starts for me, in a sense. Because
thank you.
There's some really good music around. There's some great lyrics, but getting the two together, that can be quite a challenge. But I enjoyed listening to it. I had it on in the office with the operations manager. We listened to it and said, oh, that's good, that. Because immediately it works.
Thank you so much. I really struggle sometimes lyrically because I am a lyricist, and that's what I love to do is write lyrics. But sometimes in the mainstream pop world, it has to be very simple, very cliche, almost predictable, so people can sing along and they know what you're going to sing. Verse, chorus, verse 2, middle 8, big chorus, and we'll do the chorus twice. You know, it's very a lot of them are very structured like that, but I like to tell a story, and that's why I've always been a big fan of Queen and the old 70s musicians and 80s too. The music was just different, the storytelling was different. Country are amazing for that, and country do amazing Christian music too. So I wanted to bring a bit of that storytelling back.
Do you know, we're living in a world where everyone wants shorter. You know, make the shortest Instagram or TikTok, and then you'll get the likes and the comments, and you never, ever will reach that. And you know, I've gone the opposite way with my station because I happily play an 8-minute Led Zeppelin track. Why? Because it was good. Why do we need a 3-minute track? That's fine. That's okay. And we've got your 3-minute radio edit, but I want the longer version.
Thank
because
you.
that
I'm
for me
that.
is in full. That's, well, we're a bit different. We're a bit crazy in a good way, because I like the artistry of the creativity.
But do you know why? It's because the world today isn't built for patience.
Yes.
We the way that the social media is designed, the way adverts are designed, the way reels and TikTok reels and things like that, they're designed to be very quick, which I think personally, and I'm not a doctor, don't quote me on this. This is not Dr. Talia. This is just my brain. I think it's amplifying ADHD in people because things are moving quick pace. If your reels are under a minute, they'll do better. No one's got any patience anymore. No one can wait for beauty. They want give me the good bits, you know? Yeah. And now they're starting to post major plot lines in movies because that's just what people want to see. Or can you get to the chorus quicker? We've had to cut out verse 2 and half of the pre-chorus because the radio need to get there quick. So the journeys, that word again, is just non-existent now. People want things fast. They want it on now. You know, they don't have that the patience. That's just the word. Nobody has patience anymore, and the world isn't built for it. If you look at cartoons as well, what they're doing for kids at the moment, the scenes are very quick.
Yeah.
You know, when you used to watch Tom and Jerry, it would go on and you'd have the whole story and the mum in the slippers and everything. But now kids' cartoons are very cut quick. Each scene, I don't think they're longer than a few seconds. And it's causing this impatience in a lot of kids. Is that a word, impatience?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's causing a lot of impatience in children, and I notice it in my kids, my partner's child, and his friends, and I just see it a lot.
I go the opposite way. You either try and go with the tide. I like that you haven't. I like that this is not a short song.
I did both.
Well, I know you did both.
I did both.
but I like the longer version. That's why we play Queen in full, Guns N' Roses in full, Led Zeppelin in full, because you can do a 3-minute edit and that's great. But I like the editor's cut of everything. Which, you know, when Lord of the Rings came out with the editor's cut, I went and bought it. Why? Those 10 seconds extra every bit, that matters to me because it's the creativity behind it.
So true. Yeah, it's so true. And you know what? You're not going to get a cut version of the Bible either, you know, so we might as well just long it out.
I like that a lot. In fact, what I was hearing you saying earlier, you kind of going through the idea of the Psalms that David wrote that, you know, I'm in a rubbish day, God, where are you? But I'm going to praise you anyway. That effectively, that's what you're talking about. But we want the good now. We want to have that immediate rush of it's all going to be good. But you know what, like you say, the Christian faith, it's not about now. It's about the journey that we're on. It's not cheesy or corny. So thank you for writing something that wasn't short and being able to write something shorter as well. But I like the long form. You know, somebody said to me about our magazine, you should write much shorter articles. No, they're 600 words long. Seriously, if people can't read 600 words, I'm not going to give them 20 or 50.
Yeah.
So I actually went the other way.
Read it.
Just the longest. Well, exactly. If it's too long for you, move on.
Just don't read it. Do you know what? It's so funny that you've actually mentioned David because he's such an inspiration to me in that sense. You know, the Psalms, the amount of Psalms that he wrote and where he come from musically and in his life journey too. I really resonate with him.
Okay, let's just go back to David and the Psalms because we need to wrap this up. So it's something that means something to you. I love the fact that the song is not really, really short. It tells a story. And I love that some of your stories beautifully intertwined with how David in the Psalms writes what he writes. And you were talking about your passion of children today being, you know, really short attention spans. And we're feeding that in so many ways.
Yes.
How do you want people to date your song? What do you want it to achieve for somebody today?
There's two things I would really like out of this music. The first thing is I want people to have a moment to themselves and be able to sort of, you know, like how we used to with Pink Floyd, you used to sort of fall into the song and you would be on this journey. I want to bring that back to music. Like you say, you know, there shouldn't be a rush with music. So I want people to be able to listen to my songs and experience that moment of relax really and chill and clarity and faith. The other thing I want to do is really remind people that actually Christian music is really cool and it's just as good as normal music. And, you know, we rock out too and we have really cool Christian rappers and musicians and incredible singers. And I don't know, there's this thing where people think that worship music's uncool, and it reminds me of when my nan used to have songs of praise on the radio in the car, you know, and it was just hymns and stuff. But times have moved on and Christian music is really, really modern. So I want people who still followed me in the mainstream to still follow me in the world of worship and actually say, hey, I can get down with this. I really understand it and it makes sense to me and it's really cool at the same time. I want to intertwine my audience. I'll win some, I'll lose some, but hey, it's worth it.
Absolutely. Do you know, it's been a joy having a fun conversation with you today, which has been a challenge, but we work through these things. Of course we do.
We've been tested.
We've been tested. But the thing is, it's like writing a song. It's like writing a book. It's like doing anything. There is a journey and you take little steps and there's going to be knockdowns and you keep going. And what you get at the end is beautiful. Talia, thank you so much. We're going to play the music next. The full long version, not the short version, which I do also have.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
6 minutes.
Let's stop doing short form. Let's do some long form. And I love what you're doing. Talia, thank you.
Can I plug my concert in December?
Absolutely. You definitely can.
Okay, well, just to let everybody know, I'm going to be singing Praise Your Name live. I'm going to be singing lots of other Christmas songs. And you're more than welcome to come, by the way, on the 20th of December in Mayfair in Farm Streets. And the tickets are on sale on Eventbrite. Talia hosts Christmas.
Fab. No, that looks really good. I think you're on Songs of Praise, I think, soon.
Yeah, first week of Advent, Sunday the 30th of November, I am on Songs of Praise. I never thought I'd say that, by the way. It's kind of like MTV world of Christian music, isn't it?
No, but it's good. Talia, thank you so much for working through. Let's just call them technical issues. Let's just say that and
call it
working through
Satan.
those. I will go with that as fine. Talia, have a fantastic rest of your day, and we're going to play your
Thank
your
you.
new song right now.